Good morning from space number two. Number two. This was all prepared for, well, these shells were not here. And they're all very precariously balanced. I know. My husband gave it his approval. He doesn't like it, but he did give it his approval. And there's some stuff I have to load. This has to move. But this used to be ready for sewing. But I got to the point where sitting in this particular chair that I have in here for any length of time. Hold on, somebody's stealing something. Okay, the thief is gone. Excuse the freezer paper that I do use for sewing. Anyhow, my back could not handle sitting in the particular chair that's in here for hours and hours. That it would take to like put half a quilt together or whatever. So I sew somewhere else, and I had this table, and I'm like, and Gaynor Paddle said you can have multiple spaces. So I'm like, okay. And this lamp is very old, like in the 30s, 30-year age range. And I do store my fabric in that cabinet that used to be a TV cabinet. Anyhow, so I'm hoping to get some of my journals displayed up in here somewhere. These are just supplies that normally sit around me, which has actually, hold on to your hats, actually opened up this space here, believe it or not, has given me a little bit more light towards this end. And I don't feel as cramped, which was not a problem. Obviously I can work with clutter. I did move my washi tape to right in front of me. Oh, just looking at it every day makes me so happy. Anyhow, that's neither here nor there. This is like where I have Halloween project, 5-year, Hobonichi. I have all this stuff lined up right here. And then I have this wall of drawers behind me. Yep. That's all you're seeing because it is a disaster. After I move stuff, it usually is a disaster for a couple days or months or years or whatever. Anyhow, as you can tell, we made it through the storm just fine. I hope other people around here have too. But we didn't get nearly the stuff they said we might get. Now, I think the coast of South Carolina got some more. I think Charleston had flooding. Charleston has flooding on your every average Tuesday. Because it does sit so low. And some of it is so old. But look at this washi tape. This is new. We're just gonna go for it here this morning. Look at this. I had something similar to this years ago, but I love that. I don't know why. I just love a good old pastel house. It fits travel, it fits the beach, it fits me. Anyhow, so I'm just gonna talk for a few minutes here. One of you, I never remember who asks what questions, but one of you asked, would I not have any wet medium in my current project? Yes, I will. Because even though I'm going to add paper, I still might add to it, which would require paint, and levels. So yes, there will be wet stuff in here. Is it going to withstand all that? I don't know. It's all still an experiment. I still have no idea. This literally might be I might add a cover to it, but this literally might be my journal because the feeling from this is, I'm loving it. I love all the little spots. It took these little envelopes. It's getting caught on something. These little envelopes took paint well. That was an experiment. I love having this in here. I just really like, the vibe, the aura of this is great. So, that brings me to my, my notes that I took on the Tim Holtz video. Now, if you haven't seen the previous couple videos, Tim Holtz, I think it was last week, released all of his products. Now, whether, and don't quote me on any of this because I'm not sure of the layers of ownership. If Ranger owns them all or he works for different, I don't have a clue. I know there's like Ideology, there's Sizzix, there's some stamps, I don't know. And paints, I don't know if it's all under the Ranger Bubble umbrella. I don't know. But the Ideology caught me. That's the only one I've watched, and it's like 2 hours long. But most of it is him showing makers or design team people making stuff using those products. And I was just taking notes as fast as I could. I actually, because all I had was my iPad, and I would stop the video, go to Procreate, write on there what I liked, like layers or spiders or whatever, and then go back into YouTube, watch a couple more seconds or minutes or whatever, stop it, go back into Procreate, writing on my iPad. And I've done this several times now, because then I can print these out and I put them in like my notes or whatever. And this is me sloppy writing. I did not leave space for a title, but I have a little bit of room over here, and it just makes me happy. I can't help it. A little bit of a nerd, I guess. Don't answer that. I did have a pumpkin sticker I was going to put on here. Oh, here they are. I kind of have my journal substrate art term narrowed down. I was going to try to do it in Traveler's Notebook. I love a Traveler's Notebook, obviously, because that's the title of that's where my title comes from of my channel, 4x8. That's the shape of a Traveler's Notebook. And it just spurred so many new and lovely ideas into my heart. And it gave me so much inspiration, and that I haven't stopped since 2017, I think, is when this channel was started. I still haven't done my about section. I need to do that. And then I decorate it for silliness, for whatever, just having a lot of fun. None of it is, ooh, that's scary. None of it is cherished or hugely, hold on, I know which one I want. Oh, here's some right here. This came from somebody on Etsy several years ago, but I love this still. I think it was Keely. I ordered a couple things from her. Anyhow, sidetrack, sorry. So I do have, it is a 4x8 shape size, but it's not a 4x8. It's not a Traveler's Notebook. Speaking of Japan, I ordered my Hobonichi this morning. I got the avec, which is the year split into 2 halves, and I still got an A5 because I love that size. But I use so much stuff in mine that by the end of the year, it's problematic whether the spine splits. Has before. I split it in half on purposely one year. I have done the avec before, but this year, I don't know why I didn't do the avec. And I think that's the right term, avec, for the 2 years, the 2 journals. And so anyhow, I paid a crazy price on shipping, but I've never ordered it directly from Hobonichi. I've always gotten it from either an Etsy shipper from probably Korea, or Amazon. And then you don't get it in November or September. You get it some other time. But I decided to spend the money on shipping, which was $35. Now, if you ordered more than $250 worth of stuff, you got for shipping free to the US. But excuse me, I'm not doing that. I ordered a cover. No, that's not. Yes, that's true. I ordered one of the Liberty fabric covers because, fabric is the other half of my heart. And they were cheaper. Some of those covers were $100 plus. I didn't do that. I don't do the leather stuff. Didn't do the designer ones. I don't know who they are anyhow. They're mostly, not saying that their work is not good, but I'm just saying I don't know who they are. They're mostly Japanese designers, and I don't really know who they are. I don't have that much invested in them. So anyhow, I'm just adding stuff to this page. I'm stalling. So I got my Hobonichi. I think I did order a couple other little tiny items, but I don't know how long it's going to take to get here, but it's fine. It's only September. I think things are having another hard time in shipping, coming to these states, or going in several different directions, because there's problems at the Panama Canal. The lakes on one side, I think the Pacific side, are not high enough for some of those large ships to come through, so they have to go all the way around. Anyhow, that information came from my husband. Okay, so we have our journal. I don't even think I have this on here. We have the base of the journal, so I'm just going to put base of journal. I probably should do this in ink. Base layer of journal. We have that one done. I need an orange pen. It needs to be orange and black, right? Right. So, today, it's on here, I think, Tim Holtz paper, which I did order his paper pack, and I ordered, which they call it, I can't remember what they call it, and I ordered a sticker book. That's all I'm going to order. I already have the Crazy Children paper dolls from years ago. And I thought at one time I might do an accordion book. Oh, here, Halloween marble paper. Okay. So in that paper pack, from what I can tell, there's like a marbleized paper, but I think it's stems from pouring. The liquid pouring, acrylic pouring, or whatever you call it. I did mine on Procreate. I did that practice where you scribble a bunch of black lines, and then where there's points, you curve them. I can't remember what it's called. I've done it in another journal before. Shannon Green had a video out on it, and I fell in love with that technique. So anyhow, I just, and this is kind of what his looks like. I'm not saying mine is Tim Holtz's. I was just inspired to do my own. And I added, I wanted a messy kind of crayon paintbrush that I was using in Procreate. So, and it shows through a little bit like that. But I kind of just faked acrylic pouring, or whatever you call it, liquid pouring, whatever you call it. So, paper number 1, check. Anyhow, so today, now that we are 27 hours into this video, 11 minutes, okay, I thought I might make, and I have washi tape here from the idea that I thought I was going to do, but I'm not going to tell you what that idea was, because I still might do it another year. I kind of chickened out because I don't know if I have enough skills to tie 2 stories together and do art, my version of art, on top of it. So I kind of just backpedaled a little bit. I had bought books. I had bought washi tape. I bought die cuts for it, everything. But they're all in a packet, and they're all labeled and with a big piece of paper. So hopefully, maybe next year, I don't know. Anyhow, maybe we'll have like Halloween in July of 2024. I don't know. So today I also thought I might do it in a disc-bound book because I love My Little Journal made her own cover for those, and I really like that thought process and the tidiness of it. One day, my brain and my workspace might be tidy and my projects might be tidy, but I just don't think I'm there yet. So I bought disc-bound paper. It was ridiculous. None of it will not go to use. It will all get used. But today I thought I might make, Tim Holtz also has collaged paper with all of his products. I don't have those, so I thought I could take some of the painted paper that I have. I think I might try to insert a picture of my paper box at this moment, which is rather ridiculous. So I thought I might take some of all that and kind of make a Halloween background paper, because I'm going to use lots of different backgrounds and cut them up into pieces to fit like a page here or a pocket here or a tip in here or, you know, parts of a trifold. I don't know. I really don't know. But again, I might add paint to it now, and by the time I get ready to use it, it'll be dry. And I was a little tiny confused on that one question, because I'm like, are you not going to add, I think it was C. Jenkins, are you not going to add wet medium? It might not be wet when I use it, and it might be, but it was wet at one time. So I'm not sure. I'm confused, easily confused. Sorry. I'm sure you asked the right question. I'm not interpreting it correctly. So I think I'm just going to get, because I love the sound of a crinkle. Oh gosh, look at this. Huh. Maybe cancel all of that. We're going to go to Paris and go to the Hermes store and get these beautiful ties. Anyhow, no, we're not. I think I'm going to get 2 pieces of paper that I know I won't use. See, this is kind of like that geometric shape I used for a inspiration piece in the last journal. It was something like this. I think I'm going to get, okay, I got to find a picture that I know I'm not going to use for anything. I love that black though. Ooh. Okay, we can use this page and this page. I'm going to tape these 2 together and then collage on top of them. I better do it like this. Have the straight ends together. Now, this is when I use construction tape. I take washi tape that came in a packet of something that I don't like, a particular roll, and I use it as construction tape. So I don't use up any good stuff. And then this is kind of like me making my own original for paper. I might photocopy it. I might use it and take a picture of it and then put it into Procreate and change it a little bit. I don't know. I don't know. But I do know I want to make an original with some of the stuff that I've already painted and or draw on or whatever. Okay. So now it's like 11 by maybe 17. Yeah. 11 by 15 or so. So now let's take some paper. There's all kinds of stuff in here. chairs back, sounds like. I mean, I still love some of this stuff that I used last month, and I still have pieces of it left. Oh, and I made all of this, remember? So, yeah. What I'm going to do is just cut out rectangles and kind of patchwork them all over this and see where that takes us. But I might be picky about the ones I use. That's a dark, gloomy section right there. And see, once I get these to a size that they can fit into the medium-sized paper container, then they go in the medium-sized paper container. And if I get them even smaller, then they go in the tiny paper container. Yeah. And I'm not really thinking about this. I'm just kind of working with the flow here. So see, you cut up paper and you glue it into other pieces of paper, and then you cut it again, and then you glue it again, and then you cut it again. Not like quilting, which is probably why I like quilting. You cut up fabric and you sew it together, and then you cut it again sometimes. Oh, see, there's the word accident again. Last month I had this piece of paper that had accident on it too, and I just stuck it in my Hobonichi. My Hobonichi is up to date. So no, we did not have any storm damage. Back to that conversation. The beach sent out letters to everybody. We did not have any dune damage or damage to any houses, structure damage. There might be up the road a little bit. And now I hear, I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard that the storm is kind of stalling and maybe coming back. What? I hope I heard that all wrong. That was on the Weather Channel. Could possibly, you know, how they. But this storm was so weird because they really didn't give it a lot of credit and airtime, because I think they thought it was going to fizzle out, but it did not. It did not. And I should cover up these spines that way, so then this makes this spine even stronger. But I mean, you could tell I'm putting kind of the colorful ones down first, possibly. See, now this can go in my medium-sized box. I might just do this. Now it'll fit in the medium-sized box. So yes, I have really concentrated on the last few years using up a lot of Halloween stuff. Kurtie is from the old time and old school, where she knows I had this gigantic, like, Amazon box. Big box, and it had magazines, it had cutouts from magazines, it had painted paper, it had purchased paper, scrapbook paper, it had die cuts and stickers and all of that kind of stuff. That box is pretty much non-existent anymore. It's pretty much done, although it might still have some of its life left down at the beach. And I don't remember what's down there. So I have to wait till I get down there. I see, here's an orange piece. But I do have a lot of Ghostbuster stuff that I ordered. I mean, it was cheap to order. It was cheaper to order a whole packet of stickers off of Amazon. And I have Rick and Morty stickers because there was some creepy stuff in that I thought I might add. This needs to go in the next year's project envelope. Okay. So yeah, I have a lot of washi tape. A lot. Most of it's down at the beach. A lot. I'm assuming it's down at the beach because there's not a lot in my Halloween drawer. Ooh, here's good black marble washi tape. I keep a Halloween drawer and I keep a Christmas drawer. And I also keep a take to the beach drawer. Ongoing. And if I buy stuff in July for Halloween or something black that I want to add, it goes in that drawer. Because I've learned over the years that I can be a tad scatterbrained. No comments from the peanut gallery. And I lose stuff all the time. I see this, to me, does not look pink. It kind of looks smoky. So we're going to go with it. And I think I need a little smoky. I think I'm going to cut off some of this writing. My dog and I had a deep and meaningful conversation last night. My husband went out to dinner with his kids, and I babysit the dog. And, oh, here's a good one. See, this will still have book text underneath it. But we were talking, the dog and I, and I swear he was listening and responding. He was just looking at me, and I'm like, you know, Daddy will come back. He always thinks that I have done something to Daddy, and Daddy's never coming home again. Because he has such anxiety when my husband leaves the house. Literally, he can go in the front yard, and the dog will freak out. That's too close to that. Let's do this. And so I said, you know, enjoy him while we can. We're not getting any younger, my husband and I. And I said, you know, enjoy him while you can. And I understand your draw to him. He's a great hugger. I know you love his handkerchiefs. He steals them every chance he gets. In or out of his pockets, he steals them. I just kept talking, and he was looking at me, and he was responding. I know this is people are gonna say, okay, she has gone round the bend, but he was so funny, and he was cracking me up. His expressions. He was like, okay. And, you know, we have a conversation all the time about me being the spare in this relationship with him. I'm definitely the spare. I'm there when he needs me, when my husband has to do something and I'm stuck with the dog. And he's like, I know, you're right. So this morning my husband he has a men's breakfast thing on Fridays that he sometimes goes to. And he went this morning, and I had him again. I was like, okay, do you want to continue our conversation from last night? No. I said, okay, well then I'm going to talk to you about something different. I said, because my husband does most of the cooking in this family. This might be a little bit TMI for you. And I said, you know, I'm going to go back to doing the cooking and kind of like meal planning, just because it'll give me something to focus on and have a goal instead of winging it every night. And I said, but the reason for that is because we all have had a really summer filled of junk food and not so great meals. And we need to get back to basics, you know, meat and vegetables. And that's too close to that one. Okay. No, that's too close to that one. All right. This might be where I need to add some black right here to keep it reflecting of Halloween and dark and creepy, because I do know I need dark and creepy, not gross, just kind of haunted mansion creepy. That's not the theme of the story. Nope. And he kind of was like, oh no, and because of the way we've been eating, my husband gives the dog all kinds of table scraps, which he should not do, but he does. And the dog has put on weight. I mean, I could barely pick that dog up anymore. He's a Havanese. He's supposed to be like 10 pounds, and he's over 20 something. And he is a large Havanese in his defense. So anyhow, I was like, you're going to have to lose weight too, bud. It's like, no. And thank God for him. My husband came home about that time. And he said, Daddy, Mommy says we're going to have to lose weight as a family. My husband's like, oh, no, Gunner, no. It was the dog. That dog is so human and understands what we're talking about so much. It's kind of crazy. So we did not have any kind of, in fact, we had a little bit of rain. This is Friday, Wednesday night, and wind. And I was like, all right, here we go. And it really, really sort of just fizzled out here. Did not come to fruition of anything. I need some lighter colors, but that's not the right light at all. It really did not happen here like they thought it would. And of course, we were still going to be on the very edge of it anyhow, the very western edge. But it kind of even went farther west or farther east than they thought. Now, I think like New York might have some residual stuff coming through. Anyhow, the Northeast. It just, and the upper mid-Atlantic states may have gotten more than we did. We just did not get anything. I had socks and shoes only because I have to have really good shoes to run if we had to, because of the stupid foot that I have now. And I had my wallet, my chargers, car keys, dog leash, all of that ready to go in a bag on the door handles to the front door in case we had to immediately do something. I didn't think we were going to have to run from rain, but if a tree fell or something like that. I called my sister and I told her to do the same. She's like, okay. So the next morning when nothing came to fruition here, I said, did you pack anything last night? No. I said, I knew you wouldn't. But anyhow, I'm just adding black washi tape in places where I think it needs to be a little darker. Anyhow, I felt good about having that stuff ready to go if we needed it, but we didn't. And then yesterday morning, I had already made my video, so I made that new arrangement in my room here a little bit. I still need to work on it a little bit more today. This has white in it, but that will enable me to maybe add some orange or some other color of paint here. Kind of join these two pieces of paper together. Let's see here. Ooh, need a little blood action maybe. Or maybe like apple action. These could be darkened to more apple red. All right, let's see here. Yeah. And if something underneath shows through, it's okay because it's a lot of color. Although I prefer it to not happen, but if it does, it does. Like there's a little man sitting right there. I think I'm going to cut another shape of this. Just a square. And now I haven't really overlapped. Well, I have a little bit overlapped a few places. But it's kind of like a crazy quilt. Orange washi. I know I have some orange. Ooh, here's good Harlequin. This is pretty bright. I'm pretty sure my journal will have a dark and gloomy look to it by the time we're done, just because of the book that I'm doing the book report on. Okay, here's a little bit of more of an opportunity to add other color on, especially if I like scan this and put it on Procreate, which I also am going to include when I edit the video of me making that Tim Holtz inspiration paper on Procreate. how I did it. I mean, it's super easy, super easy. If I can do it, anybody can do it. And I'm not going to say how, you know, what paintbrushes I used or whatever. And I don't have any other paintbrushes added or anything. I still just have the free version. Because I'm cheap. I have to be able to afford the shipping from Japan of my Hobonichi. This has green. I need to find some green. So this kind of stuff is fun. I might leave that white on there. It's another opportunity to make something. I don't know. It's on the very edge, so. But I do think maybe a little bit of white doesn't hurt. Because it just enables you to be able to do something in those white spaces. Plus, like, if I go into Procreate, I can lighten all of this up and then do something else on top of it, like a spooky house or something, whatever we might need. Ooh, I forgot I have circles sitting here from last month. Maybe not so obvious. Like here's is more red. I don't know if there are any of them are dark. And, oh, here's a good gloomy one, maybe. Sort of. Just break up some of that color. Oh, here's a better one. Because it's on blue paper. And it has a little bit of pink in it. I think that's all my circles. I don't think I want that print and this print next to each other. There's orange. Okay, that's a better side for our paper. Ooh, this says closed door. That might be creepy for Halloween. Yeah, closed door. I even ordered a bracelet for that other, just a cheap old plastic thing, kid's bracelet, but it was to help with the filming, the aesthetic. If I'm not having a good day journaling, you can focus on the bracelet, that kind of thing. But alas, I am not going to do it. Oh, there's good orange. Yeah, I chickened out. I just don't know if my skill level is quite there. Heck no. Heck, if I know if my skill level is good enough for this one either. I don't know. You know what? Oh, let's try something. See, this is the experimental stage that I wanted to have happen now rather than in the actual journal. Cutting up those and adding those. You could make those marks with pens and paint at the same time, but it's fun to do it with paper too. And that kind of ties these two pieces together. Seams them, stitches. Oh, tomorrow's Saturday. Oh, this is Labor Day weekend. Whew. I know a lot of places in Florida are struggling to try to get their things repaired if they weren't damaged totally, so that they can be open on Labor Day weekend and make a little bit of money, because this is like the last push. Oh, let's do it. Torn edge one. Put it over something. So yeah, this is Labor Day weekend here. Last holiday of the summer. Now, I do think I would like a little bit more black. So here's some black children's construction paper. And I might, you know what I might do? I might hole punch these big ones and kind of add these in places too. I sure hope I'm in screen here. Didn't you? That would be better, huh? Probably bumped my table yesterday, or the camera actually. Now, I love that. Hope you couldn't hear my stomach growling. Okay. So, what else? I caught up my Hobonichi yesterday, moved my room around a little bit to incorporate another workstation. I will always be filming here because there's not a good place to put a camera. There's hardly a good place to put a camera here, too. All right. I need some black over here, but I might just cut a square of this, put something on top of it. Oh, you know what I might do? Yeah. Our granddaughter might come this weekend at some point. She's in the science club at her new school, which is great. And I'm glad she's feeling comfortable there. Science is not her forte, although it does hold her attention longer than other places when you have ADD. Now, I think just because it's me, and this is my favorite art supply, there are a few places. This is not fixed. There's a bit of a corner here. There's a bit of a corner here, and there's a man's face here. But, before I lose this lid, why can't we just add a little bit of scribble? I may not even get it wet. I might just leave it like this. Although if I get it wet, I could put matte medium over it. And I did see sandpaper to kind of rough stuff up. Yes. Yes. Great idea. Great idea. Don't listen to the husband talking to the dog. See, now I have filled in that gap there. And I like oh, I love the black and white effect. Oh, okay. Some of these white spaces. Now, some of this I need to cut off. Right there. Even though that doesn't make that much of a difference, but in my head, it does. All right. I hate to cover that man's face because he looks like a happy-go-lucky guy. And maybe something's begging to come down here. Just add some creepy scribbles. I kind of want to leave that white space, and I kind of want to leave this white space and that one. Okay, I might. Here's an orange. Got a little bit of orange in that. A little bit of orange in that one. Maybe a little bit of orange up here. Scribble. I think I'm going to leave it like that because that enables me to put other stuff. Oh, you know what? I'm going to put this black in the Halloween box. That enables me to kind of add stuff or take stuff away on Procreate or photocopy it and put other stuff on top of it. Glue more paper on top of it on a certain day. Or, you know, say, I mean, obviously this is 11 by 18 or whatever, 12, 15 I said. And I only have 4 by 8 pages. And some are smaller than that. So, you know, I'll only use maybe, you know, that much on a Tuesday or whatever. I just had this piece of paper at work. So, you know, and here would be a great challenge. I'm not going to do it, but just use this piece of paper for the entire journal and manipulate it in so many different ways. That'd be kind of cool. That's a great idea for a project, actually. Make a, you know, maybe a little bit bigger piece of paper, but only use it for the entire journal, and just the way you manipulate it from time to time, from day to day, how that can change. That's a great idea. Beth, you're so smart. But I think I'm going to leave it like that. And see what happens from there. This is construction tape. I'll talk to myself all day. Or the dog. It was so funny last night. Okay. Oh, you know what? Is this going to mess it up? Where's my... It kind of reinforces it a little bit. I said I wasn't going to do this, didn't I? Oh well, apparently I'm doing it. I mean, and I'm sure designers at Ranger are shaking in their boots over this paper, but that's okay. It's fun. It's fun. And this is what makes me happy. Going to the store and buying a whole huge packet of Tim Holtz stuff makes me happy too. But I'm just in a place where I'd rather make it myself more and more and more. And that's the last couple years. I haven't bought any scrapbook paper in forever. I like this. I make a couple of these. This was an idea that I wanted to experiment with and possibly, you know, create. Where is my book? Oh gosh, there's so much stuff sitting right here. I just had my book. Where did I put my book? Okay, it is. I mean, I have this whole list of stuff that I want to work with. Tomorrow we might, you know, try to create. Some of those ladies had junky wreaths, and I thought that was so cool. But I don't know if I even put paper on here. Layers. That could kind of constitute layers with what we just did. So tomorrow I'll come back and make something. And I want to use, and then I could photocopy this or put it in, scan it and print it and lighten it up and then stamp stuff on top of it too to add another layer. Yeah. Okay, that's enough for today. Happy Saturday. Happy Labor Day weekend in the United States. Happy Saturday for those of you not in the United States. But I do need to put this right here so that I don't... Some of these pages in here you can't see. Capiche? Capiche. All right, thanks for watching. I've talked long enough. Babble, babble, babble. Bye!